behind the controls is fighting for his life in a hospital bed.
When I ran up to the plane, I couldn't really tell where the cockpit was, and he wasn't really making any noise.
Witnesses say the plane only spent a few minutes in the air before nosediving into the ground. Good evening. I'm Bill Lund.
I'm Leah McLean. We broke this story this afternoon at KSTP.com. That plane, built from a kit, went down in a farm field just north of Lake Elmo Airport around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Robert Moses is tracking new details tonight, and he spoke with both witnesses and investigators. He's live near the scene. Robert?
Leah, I just checked, and the pilot is in critical condition tonight. You can't see it now, but the debris from the crash is in this field just north of Lake Elmo Airport. It will stay there so investigators can go through it to try to figure out what caused this crash. Tonight I spoke to one man who says he was one of the first people to rush in to help the pilot.
That's something I'm going to forget.
Chris Mikla of Stillwater says he was on his way home from his job as a registered nurse when he saw the plane crash.
I saw this yellow plane. It was quite windy, and it seemed almost vertical, and I could tell it wasn't going to make it to the airport.
5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Dave Dahl says winds were gusting up to 33 miles an hour at the time of the crash. Windy day today. Do you know if that played any factor in this?
We do not know, and hopefully we'll be able to get some of that information from him, and that will also be the responsibility of the FAA and NTSB.
The pilot, who the sheriff's office says is a 39-year-old man from Washington County, was the only person on board. The sheriff tells us the plane did not catch fire when it crashed.
Initially, when I ran up to the plane, I couldn't really tell where the cockpit was, and he wasn't really making any noise. Finally, I found his head, and I opened his airway. He took a couple breaths.
The sheriff says rescuers cut the pilot out of the plane because he was still strapped in. The sheriff also says the pilot was in and out of consciousness. He was airlifted to Regions Hospital.
He appeared to have some injuries to his chest, and he had some very obvious lower extremity injuries. I hope he does well. I know he has some real serious injuries.
The sheriff tells us both the National Transportation Safety Board and the Federal Aviation Administration will be here tomorrow morning to start investigating what caused the crash. We're live near Lake Elmo tonight. Robert Moses, 5 Eyewitness News.
And you can see more video